Hey everybody, welcome to the Big Llama Show. I'm the Big Llama. Today we're doing a movie review. I just finished watching One Night in Miami. Thought it was amazing. Let's go for my review. SINA, hit me with my theme music.
Yeah, it's SINA. She ruckus. Dead beat. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. You ain't a killer, boy. Stop. I hear you yelling stacks on deck.
Once again, welcome to the Big Llama Show. Thank you for joining me. I'm reviewing One Night in Miami, but before we get to that, make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave me some comments, let me know what you think about One Night in Miami. Here's my review. Let's check it out. One Night in Miami. Set on the night of February 25th, 1964, One Night in Miami follows a young, brash Cassius Clay as he emerges from the Miami Beach Convention Center as the winner against Sonny Liston. And then you have Malcolm X meeting up with them, Jim Brown, and also Sam Cooke. And what this is just it says it's based on, inspired by true events, but it is a fictitious meeting of these four gentlemen at the height of the civil rights movement, and really talking about what it is to be a successful black man during the civil rights movement. A really, really great film that really captivates you, and if you really think about it, keeps you in one place for the majority of the movie, which is a hotel room. First, let's talk about the movie itself in terms of its visuals. The movie was great to look at. The colors popped, and you really sort of had a sense of where you were based on the colors of the movie. I've said this before in previous reviews when I think Judas and the Black Messiah. Cinematography, where the colors popped and you knew where you were exactly because of the colors. This is directed by Regina, which she received a Golden Globe nomination but was snubbed for the Oscar for this particular movie, and I think it's a shame. Really, the movie is a well-made movie. It does keep you in one location, and the other peripherals, the things that are happening as they get to this meeting, were fun to watch. There were lots of fight sequences with Muhammad Ali, or Cassius Clay's character, where again, it's not Rocky, it's not, but it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be actual footage, and it's not supposed to be a biographical movie. It is just sort of setting up the scene and sort of letting you know where we're going with this. Again, Cassius Clay is fighting Liston, and this is when he wins the title in Miami Beach. And then what ensues after is this meeting with Sam Cooke, Malcolm X, Jim Brown, and Muhammad Ali, or Cassius Clay. He goes by Cassius Clay throughout the movie. In the movie, Muhammad Ali is about to become Muhammad Ali. He was Cassius Clay, and what the story is set up is that they're meeting to discuss with Malcolm X Cassius Clay's devotion to the Nation of Islam, about to devote himself to be a Muslim. Now, Jim Brown at the time was a prominent football star. He's now an activist and actor, but at the time he was one of the top football players in the country. He was well sought after, and what was famous about him is that he retired early from the game to pursue his acting career, which shocked everybody. I'm sure he had several years in the tank, but what you find in the movie is he does talk about it and says, that he's just waiting. They're just sort of giving him a paycheck, and his knees aren't going to hold up. So he sort of had the foresight to think about what the game was doing to him, and that he needed to retire to pursue other interests to really control his own destiny. Now you have Kingsley Ben-Adir, who plays Malcolm X. And the one thing I did not like about the movie was how they portrayed Malcolm X in the movie. He does have personality. I know behind the militant facade and behind the sort of, what people have seen in documentary footage, you would think of Malcolm X as one thing, but I keep sort of thinking that he wasn't as laid back as the character is in this movie. And I get it. It's more that these are four friends talking about things, and I'm hoping that that's true, that he was somewhat that way, but everything that you've seen about Malcolm X doesn't paint him to be this sympathetic of a character. But again, the character, this was the direction that was made purposely, I think, in this movie, to show them as friends and show them as colleagues discussing their future. So that was the one drawback I had. Maybe it's because I've seen other depictions and I've seen documentaries of Malcolm X, and it just wasn't the same what I was thinking. But the direction I get where they were going. It wasn't my favorite. let's talk about Leslie Odom Jr. He plays Sam Cooke. And at first, I was a little bit irritated with the Leslie Odom character, only because I'm not that familiar with the history of Sam Cooke. I love his music, but I wasn't that familiar in why he was featured in it. But I will say that there are just scenes that Leslie Odom Jr. just pulls you in, and you cannot look away from the screen. He does a great job, a magnificent job of sort of moving the details of the movie. Now, Malcolm X is sort of telling Sam Cooke or Leslie Odom Jr.'s character, you know, that he's not doing as well, or he's not doing things for the movement. And the underlying things that Sam Cooke is doing is owning his own masters, is being sort of in control of his destiny, selling his music, selling the right, not the rights, but selling his music to white artists, to other artists, and making money that way. So he was really savvy about it, and you know, there's a big revelation in the movie where he reveals this. But I think that the point of it was that he wasn't using his voice or his platform to further the civil rights movement. He was just doing things to make money and wasn't helping the cause. And so therefore, this is where Leslie Odom Jr. is magnificent and a genius, is that you start to see the turn in him. You start to see how he starts to view his contributions. Even though he's a smart, savvy businessman, and he has the upper hand, he does realize that he's not doing enough. At least that's how the movie is portraying it. And I just thought Leslie Odom was captivating. He sounds like Sam Cooke when he sings, and that was a good thing to bring Leslie Odom Jr. in. And I believe he did an original song for it, which he is nominated for an Oscar for both his role and for the original song. And I'm hoping he wins one of them because he was amazing. You also have Eli Goree, who plays Cassius Clay or Muhammad Ali. And his performance was good. He was more, I think, of a caricature, maybe doing just more of an imitation, which is good. And it didn't take away from the performance. I really thought it was a very believable performance. But when paired against Leslie Odom Jr.'s performance, you know, you really had to stand out. And so he sort of just blended in. But he was very charismatic, and he did look the part, and it was great. But again, Leslie Odom does steal the show, and so therefore he gets my sort of total attention when he's on screen. And then you know, Cassius Clay becomes sort of a secondary character as I'm watching the film. All right, so One Night in Miami for me gets a B+. The movie was great, excellent cinematography. The reason it doesn't score higher than a B+ for me, and maybe it was my viewing experience, but there was something about the sound and how they interwove the original score, which is heavy piano laden. And what happened is it just was overpowering and took away from the scenes. And I thought it was my TV. I thought maybe I was watching it incorrectly, and maybe I was turning it down and changing my settings. But honestly, it was just the way that it was mixed. And so for me, it really took me out of the mood. Even though it was good music, it was just too high on the pitch or too high on the gain. So therefore, that's the one element that kept taking me out of the movie. But overall, again, a B+ rating. One Night in Miami, definitely recommended by the Big Llama. Check it out. Make sure you check it out right away. It's playing on Amazon Prime. If you've got Prime, it's free. Check it out today. Well, that's my movie review. Thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate you coming on the Big Llama Show to listen to my movie reviews. If you like what you see, make sure you give it a like and subscribe. Hit me up on the comment section. Let me know what other movies you'd like me to review. Once again, thank you very much for joining me. Join the Llama Nation. Become a subscriber. I'm the Big Llama. This is the Big Llama Show. Peace out.
Yeah, I tell her, baby, you're the one for me. Never two unless you telling me you feel it too.